Easy ye, how are we?
Sean, something weird happened today.
I'm sitting down for this one.
It was about time you're sitting down, because last week you went on a bit of a rant, didn't you? Rush your shit to the head.
Don't know what to do when I'm standing, so I'm a little bit more relaxed for this intro. Also, I'm not fresh off a run, though I did do a gym workout early today. Anyway.
Something strange happened. I ran fast for 19 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Very weird.
Wait, hang on. How fast for 19 minutes? Don't be telling me 5.
Yeah, it was 5-minute kilometers. It wasn't fast.
Oh, 5-minute kilometers. I thought you were going to say 5K, 19 minutes. I was going to show
Jesus,
this light
no.
the screen at
What do you think I am? An athlete? A runner? What do you think I am? No, we was on the plan. I had a long old day. I didn't sleep great. Humidity was up, and I was making all the excuses. And I was like, stop being a little bitch. Just get out and do it. So, but I was very surprised, actually. The heart rate was, it didn't stroke over the 180s until my final kilometer. And then I was just like, just hold on as best you can. But yeah, it was good. Again, as I mentioned, I'm following the plans, and it was saying that today was a threshold day, and it's weird because obviously we've a goal pace of 3.5 hours, and it was like, do you know that thought you have? It's like, how the fuck did I run at this pace for 42 kilometers? And here I am after 5 minutes, absolutely gassed. Yeah, it was enjoyable though. I do stand by, like, you never regret a run that you do. Because I did what I did this time was I just told him, unless you get injured. What I did this time was I was like, look, just do the 10-minute warm up. You know, that was all I told myself, was like, you don't want to do it. You're wreck tired. Just do the 10-minute warm up, and if you still feel like someone has kicked lumps out of you, just see if you can do another 10 minutes. And got there, and then I was like, sure, let's increase the pace, and then next thing I know, I'm balled in, and then I got, all right, if I do this, then we won't do the cool down. We'll just call it a day. And then I got there and was like, that's only 9-minute cool down. Sure, we might as well do it, you know. So, the little mind games. I don't know how many other people do those little mind games, but yeah, it definitely worked to me, because it has to just be discipline. For this stage, and it's early doors. It's 19 weeks, but I have to catch up with some of the people that are coming on this trip. I'm gonna have to make sure I have a solid foundation, and I'm not buying Monroe a bucket of beer if he beats me.
Is that the bet? Are you making other bets with other people on races now? Hopefully they're both doing it at the same time this time.
I'll tell you what, this marathon's going to be like Christmas morning for me.
Oh,
all the bets will come into fruition, but it's good. But it's a special episode, Sean. It's a Thursday. People are wondering what we're at.
Well, you know, you're talking about discipline and stuff like that. Another way people get out there is they get involved in run clubs, and we've had a lot of guests over the last couple of months credit run clubs and stuff for keeping consistent and disciplined with their own training. So, and a few different guests we've got on. So, you know what? After the marathon series, there's going to be a lot of people that want to get into running. They don't know where to start. Us two have talked about how daunting it can be getting involved in run clubs. And even recently, I've talked about how I feel like I have to be there like 2-3 different times a week and all the rest, whereas that's not really the case. So what we've done is we've put it out there. If people want to come on, promote their run clubs, talk about different stories they stuff and have in their runs and stuff as well. So like our next guest, for example, only recently got into running, and then we recorded this before Dublin. She went out and did a 3:43 marathon our very first time, and in this episode she talks about how hard it was to build up towards her first 10k. So it can be done with discipline and having the right group around you, and that's what our next guest has done with her run club. So if you are interested in coming onto the podcast talking about your run club, drop us a DM.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is. We have the Run Club series is because there are people who are not, calling themselves runners. They don't feel like runners, but yet they're dragging people out running. And that's what we're trying to promote. We're trying to promote those. We all know the big athletics clubs, and we all, it's those little coffee clubs that are doing great work around the country and getting people out for the run. And that's what we want to promote, and maybe giving people an option that's in their area they mightn't have known about. And it's great to give these people a little bit of a voice and champion the great work they're doing in our little mini run club series as we build up to Christmas.
Absolutely. And we want to hit different parts of the country and even beyond. You're going to hear in different episodes, but we're going to go straight into this week's episode of the Run Club series of the Any Given Run Day podcast. Let's go. Our next guest on the Any Given Run Day podcast recently completed Trasna 2025, a relay of 5 from Galway to Dublin to raise money for Grow Mental Health charity. She is a certified running coach who has set up her own run club, 41 Social Run Club, that she coaches a beginner to 5k program for, while also training for her very first Dublin Marathon this year. Laura Garrigan, welcome to this week's episode of the Any Given Run Day podcast. How are you getting on?
Oh, all good. Thanks so much for having me.
Did you run from Galway to Dublin?
Yeah, we did, yeah. Yeah.
How
2 weeks
did you
ago.
manage? How many weeks ago?
Just 2 weekends. So not weekend gone, the weekend before. So I'm just about recovered now, yeah.
Just about. I've no doubt Sean has about 40 questions. And if I ask questions about this, I've ruined most of his notes. So I'm going to do my usual, Laura, and I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
You didn't just start by running from Galway to Dublin. Usually people run from Dublin to Galway for the session. It's usually the other way around, but it's
Yeah.
It's cheaper that way for drinks.
How did you get into running? Obviously, you're taking on your first marathon this year. You got into running. You've obviously developed a passion for it. But where did this all come from for you?
So like growing up, like many people, like I played GAA, I played Gaelic football. So that's kind of, I was always a fit kid, like in school, like I was in sports days, like I was top of my class winning the races and everything. Like I was fit enough as a child and played football, GAA, and yeah, never really was into running really growing up, like many kids, like no one really is. So almost 2 years ago, like I wanted to be able to run, but never really just had the never really bothered just going
The
out and trying
drive
to
or the
run.
want or the
Yeah. So Trim, I live just outside Trim, and they have a park run, and like I signed up to do the park run probably months before I actually went to do it. But then one day I just decided I'd go out and try it, and I hated it because I was trying way too hard. I wanted that sub 25 5k for my first one, and I blew up. And then I kind of just decided I want to try to get better at this. So I just kept going every Saturday morning at 9:30, and progressively just got better. And yeah, that's where it all started, just the park run and Trim.
Some people can get turned off by that, and I suppose you learned from your very first outset what blowing up is, and what intensity is, and from see a lot of times the sport and backgrounds we can get away with it, and I know a lot of very very fit footballers, hurlers, people in GAA, basketballers, and they can get away with it because they can show up to a 5k, they can show up to a 10k, and they'll run it faster than I could do it after training for 2-3 years. But it's phenomenal, the fitness they carry. Having learned what blowing up was in your first outing, a lot of people could be deterred.
Yeah.
Did a competitive nature kick in that you're like,
I think it
no?
was sparked. Yeah, I think it was sparked that day.
How was the walk of shame?
Jesus,
No,
Eric.
I mean, pride of pride.
To be fair, I took my picture, I posted on Instagram, and I posted first park run. So I have it there on my Instagram, my first one. So yeah.
But what was that feeling like? I suppose then you sit in the car. I know you take the picture, and I'm trying to get to a point here about if you don't show up like you didn't do for months, you failed anyway. But showing up, running, and doing something that's not a failure is your first attempt, and that's the point I'm trying to get with. But when you did have this blow up feeling across the finish line, how did it feel to you? Did it feel like success? Did it feel like an attempt, or
it
what
felt like
was
an
it that
attempt.
sparked?
I probably was disappointed with how it went, but I definitely know I wanted to get better. I wanted to come back next week. I think it was just the competitive nature of me playing GAA. Like I wanted to come back, and that team that bet you last year, you want to come back and you want to beat them the next year.
Except now that team is you versus you. And
me versus me. Yeah. But no, I didn't feel like loads of people nowadays. They're going out there. They're chasing numbers. They want the times. Whereas I feel like you need to just go out and don't worry about the times.
Laura, how long does that take to click in? Because sometimes that still doesn't click in for me. That thought process.
Sean, I seen one of your runs last week. It still hasn't kicked in. I
agree with you. I was like, tempo run, going, even like just training tempo. I'm going like 30, 40 seconds faster than I should be. And I'm calling myself out on it. And like I did a 5k the other week and went too fast.
It still hasn't really like clicked with me either. But to start out, that's the way you have to do. To start out, you have to stop chasing numbers, stop wanting to beat the next person on Instagram. You need to just go out and focus on yourself and do it for yourself.
When you look at that run and moving on from that, you came back the next week and the week after. Did it change from a race mentality? Because a lot of people, I think I've done 3-4 park runs, but every time I was there was to run fast. You know, it was a race mentality.
Yeah.
Some people then take what I think is probably a smarter approach. They use it as part of their training, or they just show up for the company, the community element of it. What way did it work out for you then? Obviously from that, a realization, wow, we need to get better at this. What avenue did you take from there?
So I probably just realised that I needed to slow down my pace. Don't go out so fast. The parkrun and trim, it starts on a really big downhill. So you take off like a rocket.
Sense of security.
Wow.
But it does get hillier as it goes on. So I definitely just had to slow down my pace. And when I did that week on week, I then found myself getting fitter. And then I was kind of being able to pick back up the pace then and enjoy it more.
At what point did you start enjoying that downhill to all the hills? Because one of your goals this year is to run a park run pretty much every week. Is that it?
It was a goal, and I did pretty well up until I think May. Then life just got extremely busy, and to be fair, running actually has just taken over in other ways.
We're gonna get into how it got busy, but like as I said in the intro, your journey so far. I know for myself and Eric, we always talk about, when you get to Dublin Marathon, one or two things happen. You either want to go longer or you want to go faster. And for Eric, it was, he went on to Ironmans and longer that kind of way, and then faster. And he did great times when he came back 2 years later. And I was the idiot who just wanted to go longer and longer and longer and keep adding the miles stuff to it. You haven't got to the Dublin Marathon part yet, but you just decided to go longer into Trasna and this relay across the country and all these extra miles. At what point did you stop going from 5K to 10, 15 across the country?
Yeah, so I really just did my first 5K in September 2023. I've never ran 10K. I never ran 10K, but I did my first ever 10K on the 11th of November 2023.
First ever
10K. Never ran 10K. I went for a run. It literally wasn't even a park run or anything like that. I went out for a run just on the country roads. Felt good at like 7K. I was probably up to 7K at that stage, and I was like, "Feck it! I'm just going to keep going." And I just did 10K. It was the day actually of my godchild's christening. I went out for a run that morning before the christening, and did my first ever 10K.
And you could have been late for the christening.
Could have. I was a godmother and everything. Pressure.
Well, it's a great point to touch on, because we get so many fantastic guests on, and myself and Sean can't even compare to some of the times they're putting out and some of the things. But there are a lot of listeners who are out there going, "Hold on a minute, this sounds a lot like me. I've only just got into running. I've only done this." Maybe again, I'm robbing Sean's question. So we do our 10K.
Yeah.
For us, what was the feeling like? Did you celebrate at the christening?
Like you get such a buzz. Like I was on cloud nine. Like I was so happy. I think the fact that I wasn't even planning to do it, but that day I felt good, so I said I'm going to push myself, and I did it. Like, and it's just that mentality of, right, I'm going to push myself now and do it. And once that was in my head, I wasn't stopping.
Know a runner who's always chasing the next finish line? Or maybe you are that runner.
Meet the UltraPure Sports Recovery Kit. Everything you need for faster, better recovery after those long runs.
Inside, you'll find the UltraPure Epsom Salts Gel, Arnica Cream, Wintergreen Heat Rub, soothing bath salts, and a free gift. All designed with your recovery in mind.
Perfect post-race, post-training, or after a long weekend run. This set is the ultimate treat for hardworking muscles.
Beautifully packaged and ready to gift for your running buddy or you.
Made in County Mayo by an award-winning Irish family business, UltraPure means quality you can feel and trust.
Find the UltraPure Sports Recovery Kit in select pharmacies and health stores nationwide, or shop now at ultrapurelabs.ie.
By listening to this advert, you are supporting Irish businesses and this podcast. But for now, it's time to get back to the episode. once you hit that 10K, and I've had this conversation with a couple of people over the last couple of months on lots of things, 5Ks, 10Ks, 2Ks, and a lot of people, particularly when starting out on a running journey, have this mental block of, I could never. It always starts with, I could never do 10K, I could never do 5K. And obviously you've been training, you'd built up consistency, and on the day felt good enough to do it. From that point, was the barrier lifted for what is possible for me? And when you look back on that, what do you say to people now? Because obviously you've taken on a coaching role, when they say, I could never do a 5K, because I've had this exact conversation.
I was that person. I could never run. I remember a couple of years ago when I was playing Gaelic football, a group of girls set up a little group to run 10K. I think it was on Stephen's Day. And I fell off the bandwagon at around 5K. Didn't complete it. Didn't do it. I could never. I was just saying to myself, I could never do this. So I did. I fell off the bandwagon and never went back until I started the park runs again. And then you kind of become addicted to it then. And once you complete one park run, you want to do it again the next week and do better. And then it pushed me to the 10K. And it's a mental block in your head that you just need to get rid of.
That 10K feeling, obviously you did it on your own without an event, without the pressure of anything. It just happened.
Yeah.
Obviously, from looking at what you've done now, you've kicked on from that. What was the next steps after that 10K, apart from celebrating at the christening?
So we had the christening. After that, I booked to do the Wicklow Jail half marathon in March 2024.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So that's a big step up.
Very hilly place,
So
Wicklow Town.
I'm not really good with geography or things like that. Or at this point, like I was oblivious to elevation. I didn't understand that.
Contours did not exist.
So I booked that. I wanted one pretty close. That was kind of the closest one. It looked big enough. It looked like a big enough event. I wanted one. I didn't just want like a small local one. I wanted kind of a big one. So that's the one I chose. Then I did my research after booking. I realised all the hills and how hilly it was going to be.
For those though, the Wicklow Town is nothing but small roads and hills. Like it is. I live around 20 minutes from there. I've never ran Wicklow Town. I've heard about Wicklow Town half marathon and stuff. I'm like, nope, don't want anything to do with them.
Yeah, that was my first one that I booked. Yeah, in March 2024. That was my first half marathon.
So what did the training plan look like? Obviously you weren't just, or maybe you did just do one more run a week, or what? How did you take yourself from 10K to half marathon?
I stuck with my 5K on the Saturday, and then I just did a long run during the week and built it up to about, I think I got up to 18K. I just upped my long run every week. Maybe every second week, just added a kilometre or two. I wasn't following any plans or any coaching advice or anything. Just tipped along, just built it up every week or every second week.
And how did you get on the day?
So I had, obviously, I'm not going to say I didn't have a goal. Everyone wants the sub 2 hour half marathon. I did it in 1:59.
Brilliant. Jeez, with the hills. No, brilliant. Congrats.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I was chuffed with myself. I think I did shed a tear at the end. Yeah.
If you didn't, you wouldn't be human. Everyone, I actually think crying has been the topic of a lot of our recent episodes, where everyone talks about the crying at the last, the half marathons, the marathons and beyond. Yeah. It's definitely something that happens. Can I ask then, obviously transitioning from team sports into individual sports, training a lot on your own, you're adding in little bits without coaching and stuff like that. Where did the coaching side come for you? Was it the fact that, yeah, look, I'm adding on a couple of kilometers each week here, but there's something missing? Did you have a coach beforehand, or was it like, I just want to educate myself on this and I want to do it?
Yeah, just to educate myself, and then to have the knowledge and education to bring that to other people. Just because I realize like how like great running is, like, and how the buzz you get and the community of people you meet, and I just want to bring people into that community and give them the option of having a coach and someone to guide them.
Laura, what's involved in a coaching course? First of all, who is the coaching course with?
So I did my coaching course. It was actually a 1-day course with Athletics Ireland. There was a guest speaker on that day, Katrina McKiernan, and she gave a great insight into coaching. And we kind of just went through, there was about 60 people on the call. We just went through all the necessary skills and qualities needed for both juvenile and adult coaching, and kind of what makes a good coach. And we went through all that stuff and did a coaching plan at the end. And I'm certified then under Athletics Ireland as a running coach.
What were the biggest takeaways you got from taking on your own training into that coaching? So obviously you did it to learn. Obviously they probably had pictures of me and Sean of what does coaching not look like, and was like, this is what it's not, and this is what you
Don't
can
listen
be.
to podcasts.
Don't listen to podcasts. But what was the biggest takeaway you learned? Look, I know you learn a lot, and the beauty of getting people on podcasts is you learn from other people, guest speakers, and that's what we tried to do. But for you sitting there, what was the bit that you went, wow, I didn't realize that this is what I was missing?
Not really much that I was missing, but I was really shocked with like how many people had the same kind of views and the same. One point I think that got me was how people like address other people that they're coaching, and how to like how you approach them and how you speak to them, and how basically you don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know why they're running. You don't know why they want to run. So how you kind of manage people, and how you need to have a lot of, not empathy, but you need to be nice to people.
This probably explains why my mom rings me after every episode to tell me to be nicer to Sean. And I tell her every week.
Yeah.
I tell her every week that's never going to happen. But it is something we do, and we're either running from something to something for something. Everyone picks up running for a different reason or other. What was your reason for picking it up?
My reason at the time was just to get fitter and to be able to run.
Yeah.
But since that, it's kind of evolved, and I run now mostly like for mental clarity, to take the weight off my shoulders at the end of the day. I run for mental reasons now.
They're usually mentalers that run. That's what we've been told anyway.
I run to keep myself
what was
sane.
that thing? We took offense to something a few years ago, Sean. What was that meme? All runners are sociopaths or something like that, wasn't it? And I was
my God. What was that? Strava or something like that. It was all runners are sociopaths.
Yeah.
Was it Strava names or something like that for something?
Yeah, I remember taking severe offense to some meme that went about. It was like, you're all
Thankfully, not many people
sociopaths
listened to the podcast back then, but Eric went on a 10-minute rant about how this person was wrong about there was some meme or some joke about Strava runners, and like the typical kind of like they talk about a recovery run and they're running like a 4:35-minute pace. You're like, that's not recovery, pal. And it was like Strava runners, they're all sociopaths or something. It was all runners.
And then there was something about marathon runners. Anyway, I took offense. So there's a rant in there around episode 7 if anyone wants to go 300 episodes back. But it is for the love of it, and it is for, I think at some point the passion kicks in, the addiction kicks in for the feeling of it. Enough so that you're willing to sit through a day course to educate yourself a bit more on putting together some plans. You're involved in a running club now, am I right?
I am, yeah. It's my own running club. I've gone to like the likes of the Soulmates Run Club. I went to the Coffee Run Club in Maynooth. And there wasn't really a run club in Trim or in Summerhill or anywhere near me. And I kind of wanted to bring that social kind of community run club vibe to my local area, which there wasn't at the time. So a new gym opened up in Trim a couple of months ago, and I was attending their circuit classes. They're the circuit classes that I've been attending for years. So they bought a unit in Trim, their husband and wife, and they opened this new gym, 41 Fitness, and it was going for a couple of weeks, and they asked me then that they wanted to bring a run club kind of community to Trim, and they wanted to know would I be interested in setting one up and kind of linking the gym and a social community run club in Trim for the people to come on a Sunday morning and just run.
I could see the connection there because we were out in Trim. I was like, how are you getting to Trasna? We had Killian Anderson in the podcast there back in September. So he's the coffee runs.
The coffee
You
run.
met
Yeah.
him, Manute. I'm putting 2 and 2 here. I'm like Kojak over here, Eric.
Yeah.
And that's how you knew Killian through that. And that's how you got dragged into, I've seen you wearing the Shed t-shirt from out in Nace. And that's how this all came across. Now I'm pieced it together for people that haven't caught up like Eric here. Piece this together how you got involved in this Trasna 2025.
Yeah, with Killian, yeah. So I went to his run club in Maynooth, the coffee run, a couple of weeks, yeah. So that's where I met Killian, yeah.
And how did he convince you, right, team of 5, going across country, this is a good idea?
He didn't actually have to convince me. So
no,
I was sitting on my phone one day and I seen the Trasna page pop up and it was like, last chance to apply. And I seen the video, like the advert video, and I seen it and I was like, I know that run. I know how that person runs. So I messaged Aby. He's kind of partner with Killian. They both run the Shed gym. And I messaged him. I was like, is that you in that Trasna video? And he said, yeah. So I applied. There was like an application process. I just applied, kind of thought I was entering a lottery. Seeing that there was like over 50 applicants. So I just applied and thought nothing more of it. And then a week later, I was added to a group chat with 30 other people saying, congratulations, you're chosen.
Wow. I'm saying it wasn't that too long. I know people that did it. It wasn't that long between the application process and actually doing the event. It was like a month, 6 weeks, 2 months?
Yeah, not long at all. And it was just advertised kind of as a relay across Ireland. So I didn't really know what I was signing up to. So, yeah.
This is a bit like your half marathon all over again, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just sign up to these things but not knowing really much information.
Figure it out later. You're dead right.
So throughout the event, 22 hours, 54 kilometres. Somehow a bike at 31k gets in there and no sleep.
Oh, yeah. There was a 35k bike and, no sleep.
Hold on, I have loads of questions, Laura. Start from the start.
Okay. Yeah.
So, when you did your research after signing up, what did you discover? What were you signing up for? Need fuel that keeps up with your pace? Meet Perform's Carb Gel with 30 grams of fast-acting carbs, powered by 3 fuel sources for sustained energy when it matters the most. Packed with cluster dextrin for smooth digestion and a steady release. No spikes, no crashes.
All that in a compact 40 milliliter sachet, tested under Informed Sport, so you know it's clean and competition ready. Whether you're chasing the podium or just in an XPR, Perform Carb Gel gets you there faster, longer, stronger. If you're looking to stock up, you can use the code AGR to get 20% off your order.
By listening to this advert, you are supporting Irish businesses and this Irish podcast. Time to get back to the episode.
So the lads came up with the idea to get 6 teams of 5 people, so 30 people in total. It actually extended to 7 teams. There was a team added late to run from the Spanish Arch in Galway to Poolbeg Lighthouse in Dublin. And I didn't know, I just thought, my understanding was my team would run a certain distance and pass a baton to another team. And that's what I kind of thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Okay.
And just get a lift back from like Mullingar or something to the finish line to the rest on. Wow, okay.
At the finish line, yeah. But no, so I was in a team of 5 and we had to basically just tag team the whole way across. The lads, Aby and Killian, cycled the route just to kind of come up with the kind of safest route, because a lot of it was kind of main roads from Galway to Athlone.
And then you're on the canal.
Then you're kind of on the canal the whole way into Dublin. So they kind of cycled it, came up with a rough route and said, this is a rough route, take this route if you like, or go with your own route. And we could split up the distances however we liked. We had to come up with the idea of who was going to do what stage, where were we going to meet, where were we going to swap over and work our whole way to Dublin, and running all through the night.
Is there a time limit on this?
No time limit, no. Just
we all start at, talk us through it. So your team's plan, we're starting at 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning in Spanish
No,
Yard? What was the plan?
there was an official start time, so we all had to be in Galway at the Spanish Arch at 11:15 on Saturday morning, the 26th of July. Every team was there. We got a big group picture. There was a representative from Grow Mental Health there. He gave a great speech about the work, the money towards the charity that it was going to go to. So there would have been one person from every team starting at the Spanish Arch. Everyone else got into their car, went to their meeting point, and the 7 people set off at 12 o'clock on the dot. And then, everyone just finished then in Coolbag Lighthouse. So my team went with the strategy.
Hold on. There's 260 something kilometres between. Laurie, you're not getting away with this, all right? If I have to ask you about every pit stop, I'm going to do it. So you might as well just start. Talk us through the team's plan. I want to know how you did it.
So lots of teams had the great idea of...
And then we just finished in Poolbeg. Oh, thanks for that, Laura. That's been this week's episode. Go away with that. So tell me, what was your plan?
Were, you had to have a vehicle that had seatbelts, and obviously for safety, like everyone had to have a seat and seatbelt.
That rules Sean and me out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You had to have a bike.
A bike? Okay, yeah. Right.
Someone had to cycle with someone at all times, or just through the night?
Not at all times. It was your own choice. If you wanted to cycle at all times, you could, but it was only required at nighttime. Once it got dark, you had to have someone on the bike with you during the night, just for safety.
Right.
Cool. Yeah. That's tough. Takes away resty time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Technical term.
Every team had their own strategy, their own plan. So my team was to do longer stints, to do longer runs. So our first guy ran 20 kilometers, and we met him at Crockwell. There was like a Londis at Crockwell. Yeah. So we drove there. So you weren't allowed to tail behind your runner. You to jump to the next meeting point. So we drove there and we waited. I think it was 2 hours or less than 2 hours. And then we had our next runner ready to go. So when he came, we had to clap hands, and the next runner went. We went to the next meeting point. So, you get the gist now.
And what was your first stint?
My first stint, your first stint? I didn't start my run till 7:30 that evening.
So 7.5 hours into this event, and
I was sitting at
number 1. You step up, Laura. Where are we at this stage, and how many kilometers are you doing?
So we were at just outside at Lone. There's a Clonagale.
You were the fifth person to go.
Yeah,
am I right?
Yeah. And we met teams at this point along the way, and they've had every single runner on their team run onto their second run. And like I was still fresh, like waiting to go.
Still sitting driving the car
at this stage.
Whose idea, Laura, was to do 20k splits? And in hindsight, being on the podcast now, was this a good idea?
I don't think it was an overly bad idea.
Okay.
Because I think there was no competition whatsoever. There was no winners. There was no losers. The main aim of this was to get from Galway to Dublin safely with your team, and to raise money for Grow Mental Health. That was the main goal. But we finished. We were the 4th team home. We were just behind.
So you didn't win.
Team, so
you didn't win.
Laura, if we saw this WhatsApp group with 30 people in there, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a few kind of we won.
No.
Yeah.
Laura, if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah.
Eric's the guest.
So when you picked up the baton and the slap hands in Athlone, obviously it's starting to get still relatively bright when you started off. What is going through your head? Well, one, sitting in the car all day, maintaining your nutrition, maintaining everything else, and then taking on, like, you're going to be tired come the evening time.
Yeah, so that was the thing. Like, it was kind of hard to plan nutrition, like to fuel for the day, because like we drove down from, like, I met the guys in Naas at 7 o'clock on that Saturday morning. So I was up and at it like from 6 o'clock. So we drove down to Galway to literally turn around and come the whole way back. So it was like I had my packed lunch, like I had my pasta, I had my overnight oats, had everything. It was difficult to fuel because I was kind of like, oh God, what should I be eating now? Or it was hard waiting around all day, because another thing, a lot of teams rented camper vans. So they had great leg room, great like ability to like walk around, stretch. We did it in a Toyota Advances. So It was a
Oh
bit
yeah,
stucky.
that's my
Five
kind of
people,
challenge.
5 people, all our bags. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, you were bringing all your stuff back. Like, there was no leaving it in Galway. Like, because you weren't going to get it back.
And tell me, how enjoyable was your element of it? Did you do one run? No, so 5 years, 20. So you're talking, you at least did 2 stints.
So I did in total, I did 4 runs. So I did about 13 kilometers. I ran from a pitch, I think it was a pitch, Clonagale pitch outside Athlone, into Athlone town. And God, Athlone town is hilly as well. God, I figured that out.
It is.
I did 13K. Then once I kind of did that run at 7:30, I was kind of on the go then. So I kind of got a little break then at around 9:00. Then I was on the bike for 16 kilometers at around 9:30. And that got me up to about 11:30. And then I got about an hour's break max. Then I was back on the bike for another 19 kilometers. This was at like 1:30. And then I was back running. I literally got off the bike at that stage from 19K along the canal. Then I got off the bike in Longwood and I ran from Longwood to Kilcock, and that was 23.5 kilometers at 3 a.m.
Wow,
Oh,
that was a long run through the night.
jeez,
Yeah.
Laura.
That's probably the worst one. Who's your teammates? They seen you coming,
Yeah.
Laura.
To be fair,
You got
actually,
stitched, Laura.
I kind of wanted that area though, because I'm kind of from that area. I was the only person. So, and one thing I didn't mention, I don't know any of these people. The only people I knew was Killian. I don't know these people.
You
Tell
don't
you
know
what,
your team.
No, I met
making me
Turin
run
for the first time on
24K in the
Saturday.
middle of the night.
Yeah, it's not hard to believe Laura didn't know your team having you running
Yeah.
24K in the
Yeah.
middle of the night.
Yeah.
They all knew each other.
Yeah.
Well, stick her with it.
But I was the only one from Meath, so that was kind of my area, the kind of Longwood, Enfield.
Laura, there was no one there at 3 a.m. to see
There
you.
was. Wait till I tell you,
There was.
There was.
Coming out of
yeah.
the nightclub.
Loads of people
Saturday
came
night.
out and supported. It was great. Yeah, loads of people came out. Yeah. My mum
So
was out
how good?
with packed sandwiches for everyone, yeah.
How good was it running through local areas, getting support?
It was great.
'Cause
I even had
24K is
t-shirts.
that's a long stint.
Yeah, that was my longest ever full stint run, 23.5. I've never done any more than 21 kilometers.
And you did it pretty much twice in the one day.
Yeah, that was a great feeling. Yeah, running through the Longwood and Enfield and Kilcock, and a few, like, my sister came out on the bike and cycled with me at that time. My partner did as well. 2 girls came out and ran with me. It was great. Like, I wasn't expecting it at all, and yeah, they came out, and to be honest, I needed it. I needed the support. I was fatigued at that stage.
Really does break it up when you're running and cycling with people, and on top of the big cause and stuff you're doing it for, and you've raised like nearly €3,000 for
Almost 30,000
grown mental
now.
health.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic, and breaking it up and stuff through there. So after you finish your 24K, and you've never ran 24K, you just did 19K cycling before that. I know mentally in my head, if I hadn't got any support, I'm like, oh man, I've never done this before. I'm
Yeah.
after running a couple of hours earlier. Your nutrition's not all right. Toyota events is probably not the best place to try and get any sleep in. You're saying you got no sleep. After you done that, was there a huge feeling of, oh my God, like you're proud of yourself, and rightly so, or it's like, oh, I've still got a little bit to go towards we get the team to the finish line? How was that feeling?
Yeah, there was a bit of both. Like, I was really proud of myself, and I was even really proud of my team, like, for just getting this far. Like, we knew, like, we were nearly home. Like, when you're at that stage, you're nearly home. But then, at the back of my mind, like, I still had 2 more runs and a cycle left to do. So
Wow.
I got a small little break, probably like less than, there was a 12K run in between that run and my next run, and then I had to run 10 kilometers then again. My legs, like, you'd swear someone pumped cement into my legs, like they were like rocks. It was so difficult. It was difficult.
And what way does it finish then, Laura? Does the whole team run together, or does one individual finish, or what way does it work?
Yeah, so we parked the car in Irishtown, and then we ran out to Poolbeg as a team. Yeah, so we did about 6.5K then all together at the end, and we all finished together. Yeah, at Poolbeg Lighthouse.
So how many kilometers did you cover in the day running?
So in total, I ran 54.
So an ultra marathon in a day.
Yeah, it took us
And
22
what total
hours.
time?
Yeah, we finished
22
just before
hours.
10 o'clock. Yeah, 10 o'clock in the morning.
My God.
ran that, Laura. I know the breaks and stuff like are there, but not really because you're cycling and the food and the fuel's not there.
Okay.
With the Dublin Marathon coming up, how much confidence does that give you to go? You know, I ran 54k over the course of a day, and not only that, like I said there, your legs are like cement, and certain stages of Dublin Marathon, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Laura, there's a few hills in there, but like it's having that in your legs and still manage to find your way through. How much confidence do you have going into like your first marathon?
Yeah, like, and you don't want to sound confident, but it has given me a massive boost to know like that I am capable of doing that, because like I've never done anything like that before. The only thing I've done like that before is nothing. Like I've ran half marathons. I've only ran about 4 half marathons. But yeah, no, it has given me a great boost, and I'm like really looking forward to it now. And it has given me an insight to how sore I'm going to be after.
Yeah, that too. And you have a bit of time. So with the knowledge you have now from this run, and as you look, and like many others are looking towards Dublin Marathon, what framework are you putting in place now to make sure that, one, the training block continues, that you build on the fitness that you would have built, or at least the conditioning you would have built mentally, physically from this journey and training for it? What framework are you putting in place now for the marathon? Is there goals in place, and what is it you're doing to get to them?
Yeah, so I'm just trying to be consistent with my running now, and I have a runner plan, so I've signed up to the run app, so I'm following a plan with that, just to keep myself accountable, because sometimes it is hard just doing it by
Mhm.
yourself. So I'm following a runner plan and just keeping on track with that. And like I only started my week 1 training this week. I took last week off just to recover from the Trasna run.
Wow. It's not really week
Yeah.
one. You started training there about 5-6 weeks ago when you signed up, but it's
Yeah.
you have a good
Pretty
foundation.
strong foundation for week 1.
Yeah, it's more just now the long runs that I'm looking forward to. Like, because like I said, I haven't ran over 23.5 kilometers is the furthest I've done in a long run. So I'm excited and looking forward to them. But they're probably going to be a challenge. They're going to be the challenge for me now.
Running coaches are going to hate me for this one. How does the runner app work? Do you put in
Oh,
your
I didn't think you were going to go there. I've seen a lot of people giving out about these run apps, but Laura, you brought it up, and we have to ask.
I have been a bit apprehensive. I'm actually only on a 2-week trial, so
Oh, and do you have your layout of 2 weeks? Does it give you option of how many
it's given me the whole 12-week plan. But I think after 2 weeks,
Oh,
they'll stop talking to me. Like, I have the plan, it just won't give me the in-depth detail.
is that the accountability end? Like the bird on Duolingo keeps popping up my phone before the end of the day. Get your thing in, get your workout in. Eric just looked over the side of his phone. Shit, I've got to be
I
Portuguese
looked,
today.
looked over my shoulder. He follows me into the room and everything he does. That thing.
But do you put in how many times you want to train a week?
Yeah.
Do you talk us through it?
Yeah, I just put in. So I put in like the furthest I've ran, which would have been 21k. The best time I've done that in, and then it kind of calculates. It kind of calculates your what time you could do it in based off your 5k, 10k, half marathon time. It gives you like a prediction, and then it gives you like a 12-week plan, and it gives you a prediction time as to when the time that you should finish at if you stick to their 12-week plan.
And their prediction time, and I'm asking this honestly based on the fact that my watch right now tells me I could do a 3:32. My PB is 3:30, and I ran over 21k twice, so I know for a fact that 3:32 is not on. 3:52 will be blessed with at this stage, probably over 4 at this stage if I'm honest. So it can overestimate, is what I'm saying, the best I could do. Multiple times this watch has told me, one day I got to 19 minutes on my watch for a 5k.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near sub 20. So with that being said, when that projected time, you have to talk about what it is, popped up in your on your runner app, and I was like, your projected time for the marathon is this. Were you like achievable, or that's BS, pal?
Yeah, BS. Yeah.
Okay,
I
right.
think yes.
Ah, well.
I
Right.
was
We're all
aiming
the
for
same.
4. Like 4 would be like I'd be absolutely over the moon with like a 4 hour. But like it's telling me like 3.5 hours.
Okay, on your first one, I've no idea based on you and your times, but I do know that. Well, I know I'm guessing from my end that it overestimates what I
Yeah.
can do very quickly. I don't think it takes into account pain or anything like that. But saying I'm not a running coach, so I'm no
Yeah.
skin in the game in this one.
Like,
More
don't get
so
me
Jim
wrong,
my
like I
end,
can
but
do a 3.5 hour marathon like go me, but I don't know.
Rona will be we're getting straight on to you, be like, "Here, you're a spokeswoman for our next blog for the marathon."
Yeah. No,
But I think
hopefully, like here's hoping, but I'm aiming for a sub 4 that I would be absolutely delighted with, like 3:59. Give it to me. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I think with the age of technology and AI and stuff, what we're seeing is apps that have so much data, extreme data, and what they do is they have this one size fits all, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, based on this, you should be able to do this, and
Yeah.
that's the bit, I suppose, that will never replace a running coach. You don't have the person to analyze you and go, oh, I've seen this before. You're probably pushing too hard in this element. Try this. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Because running, nutrition, everything, it's probably the reason why pilots still have a job, to be honest. And I say that as a pilot, like there's a lot of automation, but sometimes they need the person to, make a decision every so often I've seen this before. Haven't seen this before. The automation doesn't like this. In a grander scale, when it comes to watches, wearables, runner apps, MyFitnessPal, all of these, I suppose, are an aid. They're not necessarily a coach. Would you agree with that, Laura, having done a little bit and worked with a few people?
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I have recently, like I'm very new to coaching. Like I'm only working off my own experience, and then doing the Athletics Ireland coaching course. I'm very new to it, so I'm actually in the middle of a beginner to 5K program. I hold my hands up. I have 2 girls on it. That's absolutely more than enough for me as a beginner in this type of industry, and as part of my beginner to 5K program, I do a companion run. So I will meet them once a week, and I will do their run with them. Just as company, just like myself. It was nice to have company out on some of the runs that I was on, and it kind of makes it less boring for them to know that I'm going to meet them once a week and do their scheduled run with them, which I've gotten good feedback on. They've really enjoyed it and they look forward to it every week. So it's kind of something different that I bring to the coaching aspect of things.
And
Brilliant.
then in terms of the, like, obviously you've touched on it there, like having someone there, the app is great. And look, I say it as someone who has a Garmin plan active right now, and I use it as a tool so that I don't have to think, what am I doing today?
Yeah.
But as myself and Sean, we spoke about maybe 2 hours ago, I was saying, watch said I was supposed to run at this pace, and I told my watch to that's an element of experience, because I've been here before, I've done this before, and I suppose that's why we trust in coaches. And obviously you're at an appropriate level because you're new to coaching, you're new to running yourself. Couch to 5K is probably an appropriate level. A lot of the coaches out there coaching 2.5 hour, 2 hour marathon runners, they've done a lot of this themselves. They've tried other things. They've got background in sport and running. I don't think we can ever fully replace, and I know we're talking about this Run app, and a lot of people, it's great for getting you out the door. And that's one thing, that's where I'll draw the line. I was like, listen, if it gets people out the door and gets them started until they figure out enough about themselves and about running, myself and Sean included, make tons of mistakes and still continue to make mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. And we've learned a hell of a lot. I suppose we touched on it a little bit in the fact that we brought it up because you were talking about it. It has you training for a marathon. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. The app tells you you're going to run same speed as the Lewis goes from. Where did that guard go from? He got the Lewis from somewhere. No, it's
Carl Lewis.
It's really important to get people out and active, as long as it comes with an asterisk. No different to Garmin, no different to any other watch or wearable. It's with a pinch of salt, and it's a guideline, and you have to listen to yourself and figure it out yourself.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you.
Switching gears a little bit, because I do want to talk about some of the races you've done this year before we wrap the podcast, because you've been very consistent with your goals. And before we do, though, Step 1 socks.
Oh, yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Have you heard of
What
Step
are these?
1 socks? Have you seen them?
I've seen all the Instagrams. You're absolutely plaguing me. What are these Step 1 socks?
So Tomas, he is the founder of Step One Socks. He approached me in June. Well, I approached him about his socks, and then he approached me about running the VHI mini marathon for him and his company. So he kind of sponsored me to run the VHI mini marathon. So he kitted me out with his socks and met up with him, did a photo shoot with him with the
Brilliant.
socks. It was I wasn't really expecting it at all. So he has sponsored me to do the VHI mini marathon. He kind of advocates for mental health. He kind of promotes kind of mental health and kind of speaks up about mental health and how people should be speaking up about mental health. And he brought out these socks, and they have motivational and inspirational quotes on them in bright colors. And yeah, that's his thing.
Very good. That's another person that has to give us €1 million or come onto the
Yeah.
podcast. The sponsorship is
I'll
growing
get onto
by the
them
day.
after.
So we're going to have to get a pair of stocks for the person who's running in front of us.
Yeah.
If it has the motivational message.
Yeah.
Is that the aim of the game? I suppose you become the motivation by wearing the socks, and other people are going to be reading them. Is that the aim of what it is they're doing?
The motivation behind it all is like first thing you do when you get up in the morning is you put on your socks. Like, and you want a good pair of socks to put on, and something you want to read something maybe on the back of the socks that's just going to kickstart you into having a good day. And maybe if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed or get out the wrong side of the bed, just maybe seeing that quote might just flick a switch and make you feel a bit better, make you believe in yourself, or don't be so down on yourself.
Between the socks and Trasna, you're doing a lot for mental health and raising money this year, Laura. Fair play.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Talk to me about some of these races you've done this year. What stands out? What should people avoid for all the hills? Is there any races, maybe it is the VHI Women's Marathon, that stand out so far? Because you're doing a race a month, sorry. That's it for the year, and that's been the goal. So out of these 6-7 races so far, at least, what kind of races have stood out for you, and what those races should people watch out for next year to do?
So I'm like a medal hoarder. I love medals.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you and Eric.
I'm a big
I have
fan.
my little stand.
Unless you give me a wooden medal.
Whoa. Yeah, I got a wooden medal too. A few this year, actually.
Yeah, no, burn it.
I'll rephrase my question, Laura. Out of these races you've done so far this year, what medal stands out so far? That's what Eric's interested in.
It's not the race I did this year. I had FOMO this year because I didn't do it, and I seen the medal. The Thoroughbred half marathon. The Thoroughbred. No, it's actually.
Oh yeah.
You do a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and a full marathon. The medal this year was unbelievable. I was raging.
Have you seen Eric? Basically, it's gates that open. No, proper, real thick metal. The gates open up, and the horse is there.
Oh man, now that's a medal.
Yeah, I'm raging.
That's good. Didn't they have one with a spinny ball as well?
I did have one. Yeah. Killian Anderson recommended that one to me because I told him about my addiction to medals, and he said do the NACE one, so I signed up and did that one. Yeah, with the ball.
I've told a few friends that are big on medals. I'm like, do the NACE 5K. Like, I don't want to go back to the run. I'm like, you love medals. Trust me, do this one because it's class. The ball thing is spinny.
So like, unless a race is for like a really good cause, I really struggle to do it if there's no medal. Like it's hard
because there's a nice medal.
So any nice medals this year, Laura?
I've got a few nice ones. The Killarney half marathon medal was nice. What other one? The Wicklow.
It'd want to be nice to travel that far from Trim to Killarney for a half.
Oh God, there's a story behind this now.
You can't say that and not tell us the story, Laura.
So, coincidentally, I arrived in Killarney that weekend. I had a wedding, so I didn't have my race booked for it was in May. I didn't have a race booked that month. I was kind of holding off for that Killarney one, but it was sold out, and I emailed them and everything, and they didn't have any tickets. So I was holding out, and then I put it up on Facebook. Anyone selling a ticket? And a girl she was in a camogie final down south. She had a ticket. So the amount of people trying to scam me, the scammers these days, for race tickets.
We got on there because
Really?
on ours as well for the Barcelona thing. Something popped up for certain. I'm like, no, this is through us, pal. So I knew it was
Yeah,
scammers. Yeah,
completely.
I we're selling my ticket for this. I was like, wow,
Yeah,
it's
like
insane.
fair enough for like Dublin Marathon, but like these smaller races, like there's some amount of people trying to scam. I got a load of scam messages, but then this girl was genuine, so we went down anyway for the weekend. I had my gear packed. I had my overnight oats packed. The wedding was on the Friday, and the race was 8 a.m. on the Saturday. So we drove down, went to the wedding. I think I got to bed. So the speeches were on at the wedding, and I got a text from the girl to say I'm in the hotel reception. So I ran down and got the ticket number off her and put it in my handbag.
During the speeches. Gotta
Yeah,
love it.
had to run out. Anyway, got the ticket. So got up at the crack of dawn, got up at 6 a.m, drove down to Killarney and did the half marathon. Yeah, didn't have my earphones either.
You didn't need them.
I didn't need I actually didn't. I completely surprised myself that day. I ran along. I was about 6K in, and I met this guy. He had a quote on the back of his top, and I read the quote, and it motivated me. So I said to him, I was like, "That's a great top you're wearing," and got chatting to him. And I ran the whole race with him, and we both got a PB.
Hold on a minute, Laurie. What was the quote? You
I
can't. You
actually wrote
can't.
down here.
You can't.
I wrote down because
You
I
can't
wanted
tease us with
to.
it.
I wanted to tell you what it was. Don't limit your challenges. Challenge your limits.
Oh, that is. Yeah, I like that.
It's a nice quote. It's a nice quote, yeah.
So I got chatting to him. His name was
So
Tommy, and yeah, I ran the race with him. We chatted the whole way, and yeah, I finished at 10 o'clock, and yeah, went back down for day 2. JM Reedy's.
back in time for day 2. I was just about to ask, were you back in time for day 2?
Yeah.
Obviously, the marathon is your main goal for this year, progressing in terms of your coaching. What are your plans post-marathon and over the next while with the 41 Run Club? What is the 41 Social, I think, is it?
Yeah, 41 Social Run Club, yeah. The plan is to just grow it. Like to date, I counted up there yesterday, I've had 70 faces, 70 different people come to my run club, which
Right.
I am delighted with. Like, each week I have about 25 people. I just do a 15-minute out and back. It's about 5K, caters to walkers, runners. It's social, just to get out to do a bit of movement. I just want to grow it and encourage more and more people to come, even if you're not a runner, just come and walk, get out into fresh air. It's great to get out into fresh air early in the morning. So yeah, I just want to grow that. And to be honest, growing up, I never really knew what I wanted to do in life. Like I never really know like what I wanted to work as. But I feel like now, since running has kind of taken over most of my life, I'm kind of drawn to the coaching side of things, and I'm possibly starting a part-time course this month, and
Brilliant.
possibly have a career lined up in the fitness industry. So yeah, I've always wanted to help people, and I'm a receptionist at the minute, so I'm helping people in one way. So I think I've really found my niche, and I'm looking forward to entering the fitness industry because yeah, I want to change people's lives, because I've changed my own life, so I'd love to change other people's lives.
And that is the best thing you can do. It's one thing to pick yourself up, but to drag other people up with you is one of the best things you can do. And Laura, it's been an absolute privilege getting to know you over the last little while. We wish you the very best of luck with your marathon training. To all those in the 41 Social Run Club getting out with you every week, we encourage you to keep going, bring your friends, be involved, and just get out. And as you said, enjoy it, enjoy the fresh air. It's been so lovely having you on. Congratulations on running, cycling, and driving in events from one side of the country to the other. It's a fantastic achievement for a great cause. You've done wonders for a great cause and raised so much money as well. So it's been brilliant, and hopefully we'll keep tabs on you as you take on your marathon journey and see where you go from there.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
And that is it for this week's episode of the Any Given Run Day podcast with myself, Laura, and Eric. Take care.